We're live in Best Chicago Wholesale Deals Facebook group. Hope you guys are well. Chicago Wholesale Deals Facebook. Just making sure my audio is working. So we're gonna start it here. Today's topic is we just closed a deal a few days ago in Arlington Heights, made 15 grand profit, and it was on the pre-foreclosure list. So we're just gonna go over how we found it, how we go over all the steps, so you can hopefully copy, duplicate our success that we have found when closing this deal. And that's what we're gonna do most trainings is just go over closed deals. Um we're closing deals all the time. So I think the best way you learn is step by step how you found the deal, how we negotiated, how we analyzed the deal, how we sold the deal. So every deal is different and every deal has a different story. So we're gonna go over that. Okay. So our goal is to we've been doing these trainings for, I don't know, maybe 4 years, 5 years, something like that. There's probably like maybe 200 videos now of free training just going over all types of topics and real estate investing. So it's in the Facebook group here, Best Chicago Wholesale Deals Live. You can just go to the search feature, search, if you have a question, there's probably a training video I made on that already. Um, and if you're a buyer in the Chicago area, you can join our buyers list. We send out maybe two new deals a day on our list. Some deals we don't send out. If you're a buyer that's closed a deal with us before, you're typically gonna text you a new deal that pops up and give you first dibs at it. So yeah, a lot of deals do not hit our email list, but go here and you'll see the new deals that are popping up. Now, if you need a buyer for your deal, maybe you own a property or you have it under contract, only if you're like direct to owner, not some other person's deal. Just send us an email with the deal, all the pictures. We can take a look at it. We're buying ourselves, and we may buy it, or we may be able to wholesale it, or some deals are just too high. We're licensed, so we can help you list the property as well. So I mean, there's a lot of different things we can do. So send us a deal. We can take a look at it, see what we can do. And that's why I do these trainings is just, we get your name out, get my name out there. People send us deals. So here's a deal we just closed in Arlington Heights, made 15,000 with one of our partners. So this deal came from the pre-foreclosure list. So how this deal came about is I made a post about mentorship. I mentor other people, I help other people, and we partner on deals, right? So this is not in the Austin area, it's Arlington Heights. So I didn't change the title there. That was last week. But this deal is in Arlington Heights, Illinois. We're gonna go over the deal, but I stepped out of my comfort zone and I started mentoring people a long time ago, maybe 12 years ago or so. I think I've been full-time maybe 15 years now in real estate. And about maybe 12 years ago or so, I started mentoring people, and my whole intent and ideal for that was to mentor others and split profits, right? So you mentor other people, you split profits, and then you do that for a long time, many, many years. You all of a sudden have an army of people just sending you deals in your inbox all the time, right? And then that's when business gets simple. Is like I wake up, I have 20 deals to analyze and make an offer or see if it's a good deal or not, right? I have 20, 30, and I didn't have to go chase the deals. I didn't have to cold call, text myself. I didn't have to talk to sellers myself. I don't have to go meet the seller myself because I am mentoring people that are they're exchanging uh my knowledge and my help with closing tons of deals, and they are learning all that, and they're sending us the deal and we're sending it to our buyers, our investors to sell. So but how this deal was found exactly was pre-foreclosure list. So we're gonna go into how you do that. Freeway, paid way. We're using X leads now. I it's like Deal Machine with REI apply together. So I like it because I think they update the data more faster as well. For example, this one just closed and it already updated the new owner's information, and it closed not too long ago. Right, so this is the address. let's go to our ad. So this is the property that was sold 3401 North Ellen. We closed it with one of our partners. And with one of our partners, I think, I don't know, this is maybe the fifth or sixth deal that we closed with this person. And once you close deals with us and we're making money together, what I do is I pay for your marketing. So, once you close a deal with us, you come in, we make hopefully, 10 grand a deal or more. I'm able to now reinvest into you and pay for your marketing. I pay for the contacting the leads. I pay for all the softwares, the systems to automate all that stuff. And that's what we're doing here is like one of our partners closed a deal with us in the past. We're paying for the marketing and they're just sending us deals uh and we're partnering on them, right? But how this deal was found by one of our partners was a pre-foreclosure list. And that's I'm I'm gonna start going through the freeway and then the paid way. Paid way X leads. I think it's awesome. You can just go to property leads and then go to the city or the zip code that you're looking to start contacting leads. I think it's so I put Arlington Heights, Illinois, and you can see I can just go and type in pre-foreclosures, right? So all of a sudden I have it's just not too big of a city, but there's only 113 pre-foreclosures in Arlington. And you would have found that deal on this list, right? So obviously it's not on it anymore because it's sold. But if I click on here, you'll see I have the owner's phone number. Typically, I'll have multiple numbers and maybe some emails as well. So I know this guy's in pre-foreclosure. He's in Arlington Heights where we have a lot of buyers looking for deals. And I know if I can get a deal, if I can get a deal out of this, I can potentially make another 15 grand. So why wouldn't we call all 113 of these leads, right? In the pre-foreclosure list. And then the free way to do it is PropWire. PropWire is free. You just type in Arlington Heights. So same thing, right? Like Arlington Heights, Illinois. And then I'm just looking for pre-foreclosure list. So pre-foreclosure list. So you see that they have less leads on this one for some reason, but 34. So I can work these 34. But I have to take another step. I don't have the phone numbers, right? If you log in, it will have the owner's name and their address. And you simply just go to a True People search. So you're gonna have to skip trace one at a time. You just put their name, their mailing city, and then it should pop up their phone numbers. Again, it's gonna be hit or miss. Maybe 80% will have the numbers and emails to call, and the 20% won't. Um, so the other way, if there's no phone numbers or emails to contact, the only other way would be to take the owner's let me see if I can log in here. I haven't logged in. No. There you go. So I just logged in. Again, it's free. So you see I got the owner's name, their address. So if I try to skip trace and I can't find their phone numbers, you can try the paid version. I think it's 10 cents right here on PropWire, a lead, or you can send a letter. Like, what's so hard about sending a letter? Like right now, I know he's in pre-foreclosure. I know he's in a hot city, Arlington Heights. So if I get a deal out of this, why wouldn't you invest, 40 cents to send a letter, right? So just take out your envelopes in your house, your printer paper, just say, hey, we're investors looking, we just sold the property to one of our investors in Arlington Heights. I wanted to see if you're interested in maybe selling your condo or your home and your name, your phone number, and then put it in the mail. You just write that, put it in the mail, copy that. So you can send out maybe 20, 30 letters a day if you can't find phone numbers, emails to call. And just put that in an envelope, and it's pretty simple. Just take printer paper and envelope stamps, and boom, you got, that's how I started. When I started, I used to send like 20, 30 letters a day. That's the beginning. And I used to basically write on the envelope myself and write, lick the stamp, lick the envelope, put the stamp on. That's how some people need to get started. And yes, you should be able to get deals doing that, but of course, it's gonna take more, longer time. You're either gonna have money to pay, and so everything's faster, or uh do one at a time, like what we're doing here. Skip tracing one at a time, or sending a letter one at a time, right? So this is how we found the deal. Pre-foreclosure list. You can do a free or paid version. And again, this came from one of our students that we started mentoring. I do recommend that is I believe the reason why I've been able to not do this full time for 15 years now is because I started just giving knowledge away for free and just started helping people as much as I can with what I know, right? Like I can only help you with what I know. So I believe that once you close, made $50,000 in profit, or maybe you made 100,000 in profit already, wholesaling properties, or once you've made a good sum of money, why not start mentoring other people? And then eventually, you have a team of 10, 20 people that you're mentoring, and all of a sudden, you're not doing everything yourself anymore. You're not a one-man show, right? For some people, you're not comfortable doing that yet because maybe you don't feel that you're worthy enough, right? That you haven't done enough deals. I'm telling you, like maybe that's the reason why you're struggling because you're not two things you're probably not hiring and mentoring are the two things where you're going to outsource and grow. So it's either going to do one or the other. Hiring costs money, of course, whereas mentoring doesn't cost anything. You're giving of your knowledge, and it's up to you if you want to charge them or not, right? So this deal, how we analyzed it, I'm gonna go in back into Exley's right here and just show you how we can you can actually quickly analyze comps. It gives you kind of an estimate number, wholesale. I don't trust that, but I would go to comparables. And you can quickly get the comps really fast in here, which is what I think is really awesome. Like usually you have to go to Redfin and takes a little bit of time, maybe 5 minutes or more to get the comps. But you can quickly just go and look for solds. This is an older building, so I'm gonna take off your bill. This is a single family home, so I'm only looking for single families. Typically, appraisers are gonna look for the last 3 months to 6 months. I'm gonna take off lot size, square footage. If I see a smaller house, I leave it at 0. I want to see that. Take off that. So usually it's like mileage, square footage, sold in the last 6 months, same type of building. And you can sort by sold high to low. So you can see if I go within a mile radius, sometimes I like to start off with a half mile to see if there's enough good comps. There's only three, and then go up 1 mile. So this deal we got ARV at 484. Looks like there was one comp that sold really high. Where'd it go? 625. I don't think I used that comp. Or maybe I did. So you can click on the comp and see, look at that, 3 bed, 1 bath, 875. So this is comparable, yeah. And it's within a mile. So yeah, you can pick maybe the 3 to 4 highest sold comps. And of course, it's good to look at it. Make sure that it is a comparable. Like you can click on it and just see, pictures of the property. If there's pictures online, it shows you the condition. So you can pick, I picked the three highest. It was 625, 411, 375, and it came up to about 471 ARV. So it's close. Like ARV changes almost every day when a new comp sells. So this property, um, We had for I think it took like maybe four weeks or so. So 471 ARV, so you see that I just clicked I put a thumbs up on like the three highest comps, and then it gave me the average sale price of 470 right there. And the freeway, you can actually use prop wire. Same thing, they have comps sold in the last you can do the same thing, sold in the last 6 months within a mile radius. You can sort by the type of house. This is a single family, so I'm gonna sort by single families. And the one thing I don't like is they don't have that square footage, right? Like, so I have to kind of look at every property. But you can see here, comps are right here. So you gotta sort out, these are if our property is 1,000 square feet, you can't take a property 2,500, 3,000. You gotta look for something close, within a 10%, 10 to 15% radius of your property. So this one, if your property's 1,000 square feet, I can definitely use this one here. This one here, see that? So these comps here I can use. And what's cool is that I can actually look at everything active and pending. So I can say I can change it to active and pending, and I can see, hey, if I'm an investor in this neighborhood, can I go and find something cheaper than your deal that you're trying to sell me? Right? So when we're trying to wholesale, we're trying to be cheaper than everything active and pending that's comparable to our property, right? So you see, well, not necessarily pending because there's a lot of pendings that, for example, they're auction properties or short sales, and they price them super low just to get a pending offer, right? Um, but then you see I can just change it to just actives, so I can see. So typically I do take the square footage off because if I see a bigger house selling cheaper, I want to see that. So you can see the cheapest active is 185, 266, 330, 425. And then this property was actually in pretty good shape, like a cosmetic rehab, and we sold it at about 309. So this is like a total gut rehab, and so this property right here, well, it's in Buffalo Grove. So yeah, the cheapest one in Arlington is 480 within a mile radius. So these are in different suburbs. You see that? Buffalo Grove, Wheeling. Well, this one is, yeah, Buffalo Grove. So the cheapest active single family home for all sales was 480. Yeah. So in this one within a 1 mile radius. So if I go out 2 miles, you can see. So what I'm trying to do is if I'm trying to wholesale this property, I want to look at if I'm an investor, I'm going to this neighborhood. Can I find a cheaper deal? If an investor can find 10, 20 deals cheaper than yours, or I would say even one or two deals cheaper than yours that are comparable, you're gonna have a hard time selling it off market. They're just gonna go buy the other two deals down the street from you that are cheaper. Why would they buy your deal, right? So that's what's cool that you can see all the actives just in one area. And then within uh PropWire, you can do that as well. You can go to for sale, and you can see single family homes within 1 mile. So you can see there's only one within 1 mile. Same that we had over here. So go 2 miles out. These are in Palatine. So you can see the same thing here in PropWire. See all the for sales like active on the market, right? So that's how you want to kind of analyze it. Is Yeah, do the formula, 70% of after rehab value minus repairs, and then turn around and then double check everything active. And then typically, like in the rougher areas, we're going to even be way below that. We're like in 60% of ARV, 65%, depending on what's active and what an investor can go buy at the moment. And then some areas you can go higher. Like this one, we definitely went a lot higher because there was no actives. The cheapest active was 480. So we were at probably 75% of ARV minus rehab costs. So 484. I think our rehab cost was the basement was unfinished, so I think it was about like 50,000. Yeah, so we were close to around 50,000. So it was 7.75 for this one. And the reason why we're at the 0.75 is because we checked the actives and the cheapest active was 480, and so we can sell it a bit higher. But I would on a wholesale, I would never go above the 0.75. If you do, I think if you sell it to investors, it can be hard to make a profit at that point. So how we negotiate, got a deal under contract. Again, one of our partners did all that work for us. They went to the property, got the pictures. They got the contract deal under contract with the seller. And how we sold it was we actually just sent it to our email list. It was actually a realtor, one of our realtors that was on our email list already. And again, going back to PropWire and X leads, how you can sell deals pretty fast anywhere. They have you go to property leads, you go to your where you have a property under contract. So I'm gonna type in Arlington Heights. I'm gonna go to people that recently bought a property that don't live there. So absentee owners, I mean they bought the house and they don't live in the house, right? So and they bought it within the last year. So I just go to filter, year of ownership, 1 year, and then you're gonna see there's 733 investors, and then you're gonna download this list. And you're gonna have the phone numbers, the emails. If you don't want to download it, you can just start calling, one by one if you want. Call, email. Um, but you can download this list and have all the phone numbers and emails. Start calling, emailing. We call them with the deal, leave a voice message, text them, email them the deal, and and then uh that way you're hitting every single investor in the area that recently bought a property within the last year, so they're active. I wouldn't necessarily, I would probably go back 2 years max. 1 year is good, I think. Some people just take all absentee owners. I'm like, you're going 10 years back. They're not, someone that bought a property 10 years ago is probably not still buying, right? And then how they do it free on PropWire, the same exact thing, Arlington Heights, and then absentee owners, and then you can filter it by when they last bought the property. So I think that's going to be in filter owner filter. So you see year of ownership, 1 year max. Then you're gonna have all your buyers, right? And you can pay for skip tracing 10 cents a lead or skip trace one by one for free. So uh that's how you can start building your buyers list. And then we use realtor.com as well. So if I have a deal where I don't have maybe I sent it out to my email list and it didn't sell. We're gonna go and get all the investors, through X leads, and we're gonna get all their phone numbers and emails. We're gonna also go to realtor.com and get all the realtors in that area that I'm gonna actually go to the tab that says find realtors, and then you put in the city, and then you want realtors that actually worked with buyers. So some realtors that just primarily work with sellers are not looking to, they don't have buyers, right? So you see there's 1,000 potential realtors or got their email. You got their email here, phone number. So you can email them the deal, call, text them with the deal. And yeah, I mean, if you have a good deal and these realtors sometimes have hundreds of buyers on their email list that are investors. So you're leveraging their email list as well, which is awesome, right? and then send them the deal. And typically, if it's a wholesale deal, we'll ask them to add their commission on top, right? And then Zillow.com is where you're gonna find all the landlords. So the same thing, Arlington Heights, go for rent, and then you're gonna find all the listings that have landlords, and that's gonna be you're gonna have all your investors that just bought a property, all your realtors in the area, and all your landlords in the area. You're gonna call them with the deal, text them with the deal, email them the deal, and if it doesn't sell, most likely the price is just too high, right? Because you're contacting every realtor, investor, you're contacting every landlord in the area that has an active rental. Most likely, you just have to try to get the best number out of the buyers and try to get the price down with the seller if it doesn't sell by then, right? But the main goal is to build an email list, right? Capture everyone's emails that's interested in seeing the deal. And eventually the goal is to just log in, send an email, and then you have 20, hopefully you got thousands of people on your email list eventually, and hopefully it sells, right? Because that's the easiest thing is you just send an email, the deal sells, right? So this is how this deal sold. We sent an email out, we did a showing. I think we did one showing. Yeah, we literally just did one showing and it sold. Um, and we made 15,000 profit. And then this deal was hard to get inside for some reason. Like we're having trouble with the owner communicating with them and getting inside. So it did take a little while, maybe a few weeks to actually go from contract to actually doing the showing. And the only reason is because the owner was that we're having a hard time uh scheduling it with her for some reason. Okay. So that's how you could do this. You guys can do this today, right? Like you can go prop wire right now for free. Go type in the city you want to target or the zip code, go to pre-foreclosures, and then just start skip tracing them on True People Search or pay 10 cents a lead and start calling. See if they're interested in an offer on their property, and then boom, you have leads coming in, right? And if you want to do the paid version, we're using X Leads now, which I think is pretty awesome. But if you guys are I would say struggling for deals, I mean I would think the only thing is you're just not making like this business is all about consistent marketing, consistently making calls, consistently cold calling, consistently maybe you can do direct mail, you can do bandit signs, you can do there's tons of ways to get leads, and I think the only way, if you're struggling is just you're just not doing enough calls or texts or emails, or maybe, you need to hire somebody and it's time to hire, you just haven't done it and you're just struggling, right? So, um, uh, and we're consistently getting deals under contract, consistently, like right now we have one closing Tuesday, we're making 10 grand, we're closing another one on hopefully Friday. If the lender gets the hard money lender gets it clear to close, that one's making like 12 grand. We have uh consistently getting deals under contract. If you guys are on my email list, you'll see, deals that we're consistently sending out every single week. I just got another one signed today that we're probably gonna send out tomorrow. So it's just a matter of consistently always making calls and texts. And the people that fail that think that this business doesn't work are the ones that, yeah, I made 100 calls and I didn't get anybody, so this just doesn't work, right? No, sometimes like when I first started, it took me 6 months, and I think I mailed out thousands and thousands of mailers. I was probably I don't remember exactly how many I was mailing, but I eventually got to the point where I was mailing. We didn't have cold calling or texting or any of that. We just had direct mail. That's all we had. So I was paying thousands of dollars a month for direct mail, and it took me 6 months of investing into that to actually get a deal. So if I just stopped at 3 months after spending a few $1,000s and decided this doesn't work, guess what? I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here, right? And I just love this business because it's given me the freedom of my time. Like uh I'm able to go to my wife. Like she was in the hospital for a week. I was actually in the hospital the whole week working right by her side. And that's what this business can do is like give you the freedom to be with your family, spend more time with your family, the freedom, and you're not a slave to the job anymore where you have to, go to work and or clock in and you're a slave to it, right? That's the beauty about this business is freedom, financial, it's not more for me, it's not more so about the money, it's more so about freedom, right? Freedom of your time, right? So if you need mentorship, you're looking for a mentor, someone that partner. Yeah, I'm doing this like I think last year we had like about 100 people join our program and it was just here, sign up, here's login, everything, here's videos, good luck, right? That's kind of how we're doing it. I think it'd be better if I do more one-on-one where we only partner with just a few people a year rather than getting 100 people. And the reason being is because um if I can get one person to close like 10, 12 deals with me over the next year or so, that's of course a lot more money, right? You can make off one relationship or one person that I mentor and partner with, I can make 60 grand, 70 grand, 80 grand more, right? I had one student, like the deal we're closing on Tuesday, one student, I think we're on deal number 12 or 13, and we're probably, combined, we're probably in 60, 70 grand of profit already, right? So it's one relationship, one person I mentor, you can make a lot of profit, right? So I want to do it more small, where it's just a few people a year, maybe just one person a month I take on. And then that way I can we can jump on as many Zoom calls as possible and help with everything. And we provide funding, unlimited funding for deals. We also provide funding for even hotel deals, rehabs. If you don't have the funding, you need it, and you're interested in this, just reach out, schedule a call. You have to go here on this link, schedule a call, and we'll see if we're a good fit or not, right? Of course, there's an investment. If you don't have any money, this is not for you. So, so the whole purpose and reason why I'm doing this is because the Bible, right? It tells me to be a servant, take my gifts, my talents, my skills, things I have, and give it to other people, try to help people with everything that you know, and be a servant, help people, right? So James 1, 23, 25. And for first and foremost, the Bible is all about realizing there is a God and he is in control of this world. He is King, Lord of everything, and he wants a relationship with you. He wants you to know him, and that's our purpose in life is to get to know God. And through reading his word is that's how we get to know him, right? But right here it says, "For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks at his natural face in a mirror, and for once he has looked at himself, has gone away, and he has immediately forgotten what kind of person he was." So if you're just a hearer of the word and not a doer, like the Bible is pretty clear. Like our whole purpose in life is to know God and obey him. Like this is our purpose. This is why God created us. He created us to know him and obey him. So if you just hear the word, you don't do it, it's like you're not living who God made you to be, right? And the reason why I preach the Bible and just want people to know Christ is because I believe like with everything that's going on in this world is that it's not gonna he's coming soon. I believe as a Christian as you read the Bible, the whole New Testament, almost every chapter, all the apostles were like, hey, he can come any moment, he can come tomorrow, he can come the next day, right? So our purpose and goal is to just spread the word and let people know about our King and Lord and just uh let people know that there is a God and he is in control of everything. But Verse 25, but one who has looked intently at the law of freedom, has continued it, not having become a forgetful hearer, but if you become but an active doer, this person will be blessed in what he does. So if you um are trying, right, like there's never like the book of James even tells us this, like there's no way to be sinless. It's impossible. If someone's out there saying I'm more holy than anything and I'm sinless, the Bible says they're a liar, right? Our uh our purpose in life is to read the word and become more like Christ every day by obeying it. And I'm not talking about the Old Testament laws when it says right here, but those who look intently perfectly at the law, it means like the Bible. If you look at the Bible, when it says law, if you look at the Bible the law of freedom, it brings you freedom, right? Like for me, like tons of things that I used to do, I don't do anymore because the Bible brought me freedom from that. Just reading the word, like just looking at it and then reading it and then understanding it and then opening my heart and be like, hey, God puts his spirit in you and you can change from who you used to be to who you want to be, right? And so having the law of freedom have continued it, not having to become a forgetful hearer, but an active doer, this will be blessed. This person will be blessed in what he does. And blessed does mean like with God's presence. The Bible says over and over again, like, hey, if you're it's better to be have a relationship with Christ and have all the riches in the world, right? So being blessed actually means having God in your life, his presence in your life, right? And then blessings as well mean, like, hey, like God will, by you coming to him and obeying him, yes, he will pour out blessings. And sometimes uh like struggles are blessings. Well, not sometimes, a lot of time, most times, your suffering and your struggles are a blessing. While you're going through the suffering, no, it doesn't look like a blessing at the moment, but when you look back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, you just say that was a blessing, right? Like the worst time of my life, I look back now and I say that was a blessing because I wouldn't be as close to God as I am now because of what happened. Like because of all the suffering and the pain that happened, it just humbled me and I got down on my knees and I'm like, I surrender, I give everything to you. And that suffering brought me to God, right? So um yes, God can bless you with money, wealth, healing, with all that, but He also blesses you through suffering and pain and struggle. And it's kind of like this business. Like you got to, it's in the beginning you're suffering. It sucks, right? Like this business. I'm gonna be honest with you. This business sucks if you're brand new and don't have employees doing stuff for you. You don't have people you're mentoring doing stuff for you. You got to do everything on your own. You got to make the calls. You got to make the texts. You got to go drive to the property. You got to do your everything, right? You're doing everything, right? Um that sucks, right? You got to make hundreds, probably maybe sometimes thousands of calls just to get one deal. I mean, so you're working all these hours just to close one deal, make 5 grand, then you got to do it again, right? But in the beginning it sucks, right? But once you learn it, you study it and you get through the suffering part, get through the struggle, you're gonna look back and be like, okay, now I know the whole process. I know step A to Z. Now I can hire somebody, I can pay him a couple thousand a month, and I can teach him everything A to Z because I know it, I've done it, been there, right? Okay, now I can mentor people, hey, I made 100 grand without investing, without getting into debt. Does anyone want to learn, right? And all of a sudden you have five, six people that you're mentoring, and all of a sudden now you're not going to properties anymore. Now you're not talking to sellers anymore. You're not maybe even analyzing deals anymore because you have a team that you paid or you're mentoring doing all that. So you look back through the all that suffering and the cold calls and the countless hours of texting and calling and just thousands of hours you put in and you don't see the results. But when you go back through all that, when you look back through all that suffering, if you come out of it and you start outsourcing, hiring, and mentoring, you're gonna look back and be like, man, that time that sucked so bad was the best time, right? And that was the beginning. That was for me, like 6 months of trying to do this wholesaling thing. And me, when I started, it just sucked. Like I had to meet seller after seller. I literally went on hundreds and hundreds of appointments, met sellers at their house. And most deals, I didn't know even how to negotiate or anything. So most people just said no. And I'm like, man, I drove an hour out of my way, an hour back, 2 hours wasting my time just to get a no. Right. So, in the beginning it sucks. But, as I look back, I'm like, man, I had to go through that suffering, the suckiness, the pain, all the rejections to get to where I'm at now. Right. So, yes, God can bless you with money, wealth, healing, all that. But sometimes we look at our suffering and pain like, God, why am I suffering? It's because you're gonna look back at it and be like, man, that was the time that made me who I am now, right? So God bless. If you guys have questions, reach out. This is my number, email. You have any questions about anything, just reach out to me. Just want to thank God for just blessing us with His Word, Book of James. If you never read it, read it. It's a book of wisdom, and we pray that the Word of God, we hear it, we understand it, we let it go deep in our heart, and we become doers of the Word and not just hearers. In Jesus' name, Amen. God bless. We'll be back. We're gonna try to go live every week, but we'll be back to the membership group tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Time, and we will be back here next week going over another deal that we just closed.